What's going on, guys? It's Garrison here. So I got my 1994. We're just doing some maintenance mods after the drift weekend this weekend. But for you guys that don't know, it's got an angle kit. It's got a hydro in it, a quick release steering wheel, extinguisher. I got my helmet, my gloves there. It's got a dual caliber bracket in the rear, as you can see. I've already kind of done some stuff, not really much. I've already took this off. That pretty much connects to the overflow tank. It runs into the wiring, but pretty much if you want to do this job, if you have this kind of car, is you got to take out the fan, got to move this out of the way, you got to disconnect the lower radiator hose from the water pump over here, which I'm just going to bend it so I don't lose all my coolant. I don't have to take this one out, but just for more accessibility, I do. I got to take off the serpentine belt, which in order to do that, I got to move the belt tensioner over. I got to take off this pulley. And it's pretty much straightforward after that. And then obviously, you know, put the new one on with the new gasket. But let me go ahead and I will knock this out. And as I do steps, I will get back to you guys. So thank you. All right, guys. So we've done a little thing. We took a little bit of stuff off. Still a little bit more to go. Water pump pulley, crank pulley, serpentine belt, overflow tank, and the fan. And I took off a little radiator hose from the water pump. So it looks a little crusty, a little mess down there. We'll get that all fixed up and clean. But pretty much what's left is these two hoses, the one that runs from the water pump to the thermostat and from the water pump to the heater core. But pretty much what you're gonna do to make it a little bit easier on yourself, you're gonna take off the idler pulley and you're gonna take off the tensioner belt pulley. And from my knowledge, which I took a T50 drill, T50 bit, and it worked in both. So you're gonna take those off, set those aside, you're gonna replace them, whatever you choose to do. And pretty much you have all the room in the world to now take this water pump off. So let me do that. Let me take these hoses loose. Let me see if I can get this water pump off and I'll get back right to you guys. All right, guys, so we're back. It took just a second. One of the things with these cars, if the water pump ends up failing, particularly it's gonna be this bolt and this bolt. Pretty much what it does is the gasket will fail over the years, causing pretty much gunk and debris and coolant to get inside, you know, where the bolt threads in. So you may have a bit difficult time. Possibly they may break. One of mine did. It's not too bad. All I gotta do is extract the tool, get it out. We'll be good. But you know what you might want to do is get a propane tank or a propane torch. I have one. It did work, but pretty much all I did was I took a pry bar behind it and I loosened it very slowly and it threaded all the way out. Sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes they're more difficult, sometimes more easier. It just depends. But pretty much to do it all, you got to take out the idler pulley. You got to take off the water pump pulley, crank pulley, tensioner pulley, belt, fan, and the overflow tank, and you got it off. I will say though, do remember 100% where the bolts go. So what I did is I just took each bolt out once I took them out and put them in the correct spot. I am going to clean these up, see if the threads are good. If they're not, I'm going to buy new ones because there is a specific pattern that the bolts have to go in. So just remember that. But once I'm done, I will put it all back together and I'll get right back with you guys. Alright y'all, so the water pump is on, as y'all can see. I have one bolt I haven't put in yet, but pretty much everything is good to go back in. So what you do is you obviously put the water pump in, you torque down the bolts. But this hose goes back here The heater hose goes back to this long one. Obviously put your pulleys back on, and then you're gonna bleed the coolant system. The way I was brought up to do it was obviously fill it up in the reservoir. Obviously have the cap off, turn the car on, have a spigot or something in there where you can pour more coolant in it, and just have the car on, turn heat on max, let it get up to operating temperature, and pretty much just let the bubbles bleed out of the system. But everything else is pretty much done, you guys. Make sure everything is sealed, let the gasket sit for a few minutes or so. I'd say 10 to 15, and you should be good to go. You can put more, gasket maker around the water pump if you're feeling you want to do that. But everything else is good to go, guys. So I'm out. Peace.